Howdy. Today we want to look a little bit more at joy. I want to start off by looking at Ecclesiastes 3. A lot of you would probably be familiar with this passage. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Now, one of the things that we see oftentimes is that when we're thinking of spirituality, we think that we're supposed to constantly be working at something. The thing is, though, that our body needs a natural rhythm, a natural opportunity to be able to take a break from what is work and to do things that are more of rest. Now, we talked a little bit about how to use quiet and a place of solitude in order to get away and to rest our spirit. But the other side of that is also then being able to utilize our energy for things that bring us joy and hope and a sense of fulfillment, satisfaction. Now, oftentimes what we discover is that we will be wasting time on things that we don't care about. So, for example, we might end up catching ourselves playing way too much Candy Crush on our phone. And our mind just needs to tune out and it just needs to have a chance to step away and to do something that's not about work. But you might say that doesn't necessarily bring me joy. It might just be a way to waste time. Well, that might be true. Now, what'll happen though is that when we plan out things that are going to bring us joy, we're less likely to need the things that will distract us later. So in other words, there's a time to be working. There's a time for things that are productive and when we focus and when we push ourselves to be our best. But our bodies and our minds need natural rhythm where we do things that are just for the sake of enjoying them, that they're not meant to be productive. They're meant to be something that connects with us. So for example, if we happen to be an artist, if we're not taking time for the art that we love, then we end up finding a piece of ourselves that's missing. We feel more frustrated. We also end up being less productive at our work because we're constantly feeling that we haven't been fed again with that emotional joy that we'd had before. I mean, also with this is that there might be times when we want to do something because someone else wants to do it. And that's a good thing. We want to be able to share in things that other people care about. But if we don't take time to do things that we enjoy, things that bring us a sense of joy and fulfillment, then we're not going to have enough energy to go out and do the other things that we need to do. So as much as we want to serve and help others and be there for our family and be there for our friends and everyone else, if we don't do things that are considered, in a sense, self-serving, but really a better way of saying it is self-fulfilling, then we're going to end up being too weak in our mental and our emotional energy. So think about the things that truly bring you joy, things that you truly enjoy in your life. And how can you make time for those things instead of wasting time on the things that you're not actually going to be happy about after the fact?